Okay, guys, we are live. It's Friday night. We are going to have a lovely little chat about the big game at St. James's Park tomorrow, half-five kickoff. A lovely time for a match between Newcastle United and Liverpool. I can't wait. Keith can't wait. Ivan won't be with us tonight. Jack might pop in. We never know. I sent him a link. But Keito, how are you? All good?
Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah. Long week. Feels like a long week. So I'm kind of glad to see the back of it. So looking forward to the weekend.
Well, you got a little boost midweek with that fucking win over Everton on Monday, I suppose. That gave us something to bring into this game tomorrow. This is a huge game because I think it's, what is it? Are we 6 points behind them?
With a game in hand?
Yeah, something like that. If we can beat them tomorrow, I'm confident. I know Van Dijk's back and stuff like that. We've Jota and Bobby on the bench. There's a chance Van Dijk might start. I heard Klopp today. I think he will start. And we've Madrid midweek. That's another podcast. But I mean, I think if we can beat them tomorrow, put in a performance. We have to back up. We have to back up Monday night. Monday night was nice. Let's get the poor Everton side, Keith, to be honest. But we got to get on a bleeding some sort of a run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, irrespective of how poor they were, I think our approach to the game was spot on. And we certainly looked like we approached and played against Everton like we were playing against a far superior side. So, you don't know what you're up against for the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of a game. And we were right on it from the start. And you don't know what you're up against. You don't know if they're going to be right on it, they're going to be strong or whatever else it is. But we approached the game right. Our application was right. Our attitude was right. Everything was right, And then you could start to see a little bit of swagger come back in after maybe 10 minutes after the first goal. I still think we were nervous after the first goal went in. But then when we started to kind of realize, you know what, we're okay here. We're absolutely fine here. There's not a huge amount coming out of these guys. And then you could start to see a little bit of the swagger come back in. Listen, it wasn't great. It wasn't, completely seamless. It wasn't completely integrated. It wasn't completely natural. There was a lot of disjointment in the play, and a lot of players not necessarily understanding where everybody's going to be, but still the willingness and the attitude was there to do the right things and try to play the right football, and that was really encouraging, to be honest with you. So
well, the press was fucking there. The press was there.
Yeah,
the energy was there. Even Robertson had one of his better games. We missed that from Robertson big time. That bleeding agitation, that shit show type Robbo, laughing and fucking memes, basic memes from Robertson. He's a little fucking like a terrier. He must be a nightmare to play against when he's like that, running around and laughing in your face and stuff like that. He was back to that. Even Trent looked decent on the ball. We were comfortable defensively because Everton really didn't do a huge amount going forward. This would be a different game tomorrow, Keith.
We looked angry. We looked angry again, right? We looked like you're coming here thinking you're going to take our 3 points off us, angry again. The way we were when we ran the season before we won the league, and certainly right through the season we won the league, we were fucking angry. We were pissed off. We were playing like fucking hell. You're not going to come get 3 points off us. These are our 3 points, and we're going to take them. We're just going to fucking run you off the pitch. And we were back to, I suppose, it's hard to kind of say whether we're back doing that off the back of one game, but it looked like we were there again. We were
recognizable. We were fucking recognizable from being unrecognizable. You know what I mean?
And the little spats, the stuff on the sideline. It looked like, it kind of looked a little bit like circles, or maybe, the wagons we've circled the wagons a little bit, and we're back in camp now. And, we know that we've got to do something. We know that we have to put a run together. We know that every match now is like a cup final, and that's the way we've got to approach these things. And when you look at it, compared to last season, we don't have anywhere near the amount of fucking games we had last season. We must have fucking half the amount of games left that we had last season at this particular point. We don't have a Carabao Cup, we don't have a Champions League final.
The 17 league games, and we've 2 games against Madrid now. You never know. Who knows what'll happen in Champions League? But we've 17 league games, basically left.
I think if we can bring, you got to think about it. Like we played against Madrid last year. Like for fucking most of that game, we were the better side. For most of that game, certainly within the first half, it should have been out of sight in that game. Now we're not obviously we're not at the same level we were last year. But you look at United against Barcelona last night, and United were unlucky not to take all 3 points there last night.
Yeah.
Played them very well.
I think we've a chance against Madrid, but that's another podcast. I want to fucking beat Newcastle.
I think we've more than a chance. But looking at where we are now and looking where we are in the league, it's a stepping stone. I think if we can take what we did against Everton on Monday night and bring it in, and we've got a full week under our belts now. It's late Saturday, played Monday into that, and we do well. We're walking off the back of 2 strong performances into Madrid next week. But we're gonna have to take what we did, all the good stuff that we did on Monday night, and bring it into Saturday, no matter what way you look at it. So and I still think there's a little bit of a soft underbelly there that'll take a while to smooth over. That's still kind of there, So
another good bit of news is your man Bruno is missing for Newcastle. He's been very good for them. He isn't going to be playing tomorrow. Yeah. Almiron and Maxima are playing, but you don't know what you're going to get from your man Sam Maxima. Sometimes he's brilliant, and sometimes he's a bit like your man Adama Traore. Sometimes he doesn't fucking turn up. Just tries to do all these fancy things. I just think Liverpool got to turn up. Got to pick the right team tomorrow as well, Keith. I don't think it's going to be a huge change from the Everton. Maybe only Van Dijk will come in for maybe Gomez or Matip, and he'd probably keep the front 3, Hakpo, Salah and Darwin. They look dangerous against Everton. I think you've just got to keep playing them. You've Jota and Bobby on the bench, which is great. Diaz isn't far away. So, things are starting to look decent up front. Salah looked back good the other night.
Yeah, Salah did look good the other night. I think once he got that goal. I think the 2 players that played alongside him, I think Nunez and, irrespective of who scored, Gakpo, I thought were better than Salah on the night, to be honest with you, particularly in the second half.
I thought Salah was brilliant.
No, listen, I'm not knocking him. I just think the other 2 was more promising for me.
Games. I thought Salah was
what was
really
more promising for me was the other 2 lads stepping up and really playing, to be honest with you. Like 1 assist, 1 goal. Like Salah's goals on a plate, to be honest with you. It's absolutely a plate. Keeper's fucking gone off.
I know Nunez made it really with the run, didn't he?
Well, Salah's involved in it. Salah takes the ball and gives it to him.
I know, the 1-2.
And then turns it goes. Yeah, so, so they are involved. So, but it was very, like, I'm with you. I wouldn't change the front 3. I would start the front 3 and then bring Van Dijk in. Then
play the same 3 in the middle?
I'd play the same 3, yeah. They need a chance. Like, that's a really good performance for the top 3. Why would you mess around with it? I wouldn't.
Bjasetic, he got manager or player of the month for Liverpool. 18-year-old getting player of the month for January. He can't be left out. Just you don't think he's going to be left out. They'll probably play him against Madrid next week, and Madrid will be looking at him. He can play for Spain. I think he's an under 21 for Spain. Under 18 for Spain. What am I talking about? But I don't think. I think the team stays the same except for maybe Van Dijk coming in. I think Van Dijk would be nice to have in there as centre half, a bit of control at the back. Even though Matip and Gomez weren't bad, but I heard Gomez didn't train yesterday or something like that. So maybe there's a niggle there, and he'll come in beside Matip, Van Dijk. But I wouldn't change it other than that, would you?
Gomez did very well. Gomez did very well, start to finish. To be honest with you, Matip was shaky at the start. A bit of a mistake at the start.
Yeah,
recovered quite well.
Missed clearance.
Yeah, but then recovered quite well. But listen, we were up against football. There's no 2 ways of you can't.
No, tomorrow will be different. The Cauldron. I've been in that ground. Have you ever been in it? St. James's Park.
Yeah.
It's a fucking. It's a bit like Anfield. It's a cauldron. The crowd are similar to Liverpool. They're really raucous and fucking home crowd, and they know how to shout and scream with their bleeding tops off. We know all about it. The Newcastle fans and a half-5.
Yeah,
there'll be a few beers on board, Keto. You know yourself, it's a great city.
It's a massive pitch. It's a wide pitch.
Huge.
Huge pitch.
Great pitch for football, though. What a pitch for football.
Listen, we've had some great results over the years down there. To be honest with you, with a big wide pitch, and turn the ball over the right areas and get it in behind. You're always going to give yourself a chance, but you need to be compact out of the ball, right? You need to be throwing over the ball. So if we can bring our press if we can bring our press to that game and we don't stand off and we engage with the right people on the ball, with head-up football, you know, with Núñez one side, Gakpo, and then Salah, we've got, like, you know, we have opportunity to really cut them open. They do play high enough, to be honest with you, at home, you know, so they're, you know, I think we get opportunity. It's just a matter of whether we're clinical enough to put those away.
You got it's about taking your chances, isn't it? It's about taking your fucking chances. That's what it is.
They've got a huge amount. They've got a huge amount of draws. And I think they've got the same amount of draws and wins with only one loss in the league. So they're not winning a huge amount of games. They're winning half their games. They're just really hard to beat, right? It's really hard.
We're the only team to fucking beat them.
Yeah.
Last minute, Carvalho.
Yeah, they're hard to beat. But listen, they have a very big game next. They have a very big game next week. They're probably
cup final, isn't it?
What? Cup final next week.
Final against United,
Yeah. So
you could have one eye on that. You wouldn't know.
No, they've got that on the horizon, and I think the fact that teams are probably looking at them now in the second half of the season, going to go, right, we've played them once, we know what they're all about. You know, and it might be a little bit easier for us to figure out what they're all about. So between that and that, I think it's a good time to go play them. There's no guarantee we're going to turn them over, but I think in terms of where we are, in terms of where they are, in terms of, you know, sometimes you look at that in terms of where everything is, what's going on, what are the dynamics in play. It might not necessarily be a bad time to play.
Do you know what's amazing?
I don't think we get beat, by the way, but you know, I think
it's amazing what a week in football can fucking do. You know what I mean? Like, we might have been talking last Friday, being a little worried, you know, worried about Everton, worried about Newcastle. All of a sudden, you play well, you beat Everton, and all of a sudden you're confident going into the Newcastle fucking game. You know what I mean? It's fucking.
Personally, I would have been more worried about Everton, to be honest with you, because it's such a coin toss game, and you know, you don't know what way they're going to turn up, and who's going to turn up, and what happens. All you have to do is look at the match we had, you know, when we lost Thiago and we lost, you know, they'll do shit like that, you know, to fuck you up. So, like, that's the unknown with Everton. Whereas I was looking at Newcastle, even from a week or two out, kind of going, probably not the worst time to play them up there at the moment, you know. I think if we can get in, fast pace, get at them start, you know, really put them under a lot of pressure, is the lads going to be going off? Do
you remember the Gerrard 6? What was it, 6-1 or 6-0? Do you remember that one a few years ago? We won 6-0. I think it was 6-0.
Remember the 5-1 Gerrard hat-trick?
Gerrard hat-trick, yeah.
That's 5-1, wasn't it?
I thought it was 6. Anyway, what a fucking game that was. I'm watching highlights of it earlier on YouTube. Jesus Christ.
Is that the one where Xabi Alonso gets the last penalty? And no, that was the 5-1. No, Gerrard got 2 that one.
I thought it was 6, but someone will say it in the comments there. But we've had some great games against them in the history. Obviously,
we've had some high-scoring games. St. James's Park, 4-1, Michael Owen hat-trick. We've had a 5-1. We've had a 5-1 with Gerrard getting 2, I think, and Xabi Alonso getting a penalty. We've had some high-scoring matches there.
I take 1-0 now, Keith. I take any type of fucking win tomorrow, to be fair.
Yeah, especially with the amount, like, it's just a huge amount of games going back. Like, if we keep ourselves, the amount of draws they're doing, they're not going to win a huge amount. They're not going to win other games. If we can get a run going, I think what's really important is we don't lose the weekend. Like, it's really
I think if we lose Newcastle, I think we're top 4 is gone, because that's a 6-pointer tomorrow. They're in 4th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tomorrow is like a cup game. It's a cup game. You know, I think it's
important we don't lose, to be honest with you. You know, but listen.
Oh, I know.
We're going to have to rely on people coming back and, you know, getting back into form and putting a run together. And that run will have to be at least 8, 9 matches, 10 matches, you know, wins to get ourselves back into the reckoning there. Like, that's what we're kind of looking at, you know. You know, and there's still some, you know.
But this is what you have to do, Keith. I mean, you have to win your first. People keep going, it'll probably be the same and a bit more the same. We'll actually lose tomorrow, or we'll draw or something like that, and we'll be back to square one. You have to win the first game against Everton, which we did, and hope to win the second. Unless you win the second game, you can't go on a fucking run, can you? Yeah. So, like, you know, this stuttering start, I just think there's keys. The demeanour in Klopp, the way he's talking, and he's much more. I don't know whether you've noticed in the last 2 or 3 pressers he's had.
He's a lot more upbeat.
Ever since he had that spat with my old buddy James Pearce.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but anyway, ever since he had that little spat, but he seems more positive and players are coming back and, he's got more options on the bench with a 5-sub rule. I mean, to have Jota there to come on, Bobby to come on, you know what I mean? More, Diaz isn't far away, not that far away.
Yeah, I thought it was really telling over the last couple of weeks is when he turned around and said he wasn't going anywhere and he's here for the long haul. I thought that was fucking massive, and it just with all those bids and other stuff that's going around, I don't think an awful lot of people have picked up on it. Like he's pretty much, said, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for the long haul. I'm committed, right? We're rebuilding and that's what we're going to do. And I hadn't heard him really come out before that and say that, it's such, conviction to say this is exactly what we're going to do going forward. And maybe that's kind of said, right, lads, we know where we're at now. It's going to be Klopp. We're going forward. And we're either on the bus or we're fucking off the bus. It's one way or the other, So So and hopefully that's kind of reinvigorated and energized the team. But fuck me, we need some assistance in summer, to help them.
Well, as this guy is just saying here below us, obviously fucking we know United, the big bid coming in for the Qataris looks like a deal will be done the next few weeks. I'd be surprised if they're coming in and they're interested. There's so much fucking money, they're going to get the deal done. As simple as that. It's like a millionaire walking into a fucking, a car dealer's looking for a car. He buy the fucking thing. So that would spell trouble. Now, is it sports washing? Yes. PSG are involved with Qataris as well, and you've Newcastle with the Saudis. We'll find out all about that tomorrow. City, we know the story there, and there's still stuff to go on with City. I want to ask you what you thought about that. But what do you think of the United one? You think it'll go through the Qataris 4 or 5 billion or whatever it is? It can't be good news for us, Keith. Can't really.
I've no idea, to be honest with you. I've no idea whether that's gonna go through now or not. There's been 4.5 billion doesn't seem like the right price for them. Now maybe they're happy enough to take 4.5 billion and cut their losses.
I heard 6. I heard between 5 and 6.
Like for a club that's apparently valued at 6 billion, are they happy enough to take 4.5 billion? There seems to be a huge amount of information just washing around the place with very little kind of stuff on the table.
Sports washing around the place.
It doesn't guarantee success. And if they get it, fair fucks to them. But to be honest, I think that what's more important, is having the right people in control, and then just actually willingness to spend a bit of money to realize what you need to do to keep yourself in front in this.
To be fair, the Glazers have spent
I
money.
wouldn't swap Klopp for the Qataris. I wouldn't swap Klopp for the fucking Saudis. I wouldn't swap Klopp for anybody else.
No, but your man Ten Hag, unfortunately for us, because we fucking hate United, is actually doing a decent job. I mean, he steadied the ship there. Your man Rashford's playing like he's never played before. They're keeping clean sheets. They're scoring. As you said, he should have beaten Barca the other night. They'll probably go through. I know it's Europa League, but it's still Barcelona are top of that league, by the way, in Spain. And Crick D is saying he's more worried about FSG because there was chat about FSG, but we talked about this earlier, Keith. I don't think FSG were ever in for a full sale. They just floated it to see could they get maybe a 10, 15, 20% stake investment brought in. 300-400 million in the summer. That still could happen.
I think they probably floated to kind of say, well, what are we worth? I wonder what we're worth. What is somebody willing to pay for us if we decide to flip it? And maybe what came back is not what they think, or maybe they think we'll just sit there and sit in our fucking laurels and do what we're doing at the moment and throw the bare minimum in and use Klopp, and we might get another billion out of this in the next 2 to 3 years. Because when you look at every other league, the sport is still the sport. It's still the most viewed and interesting sport on the fucking planet, no matter what way you look at it, right? Now, the Spanish league looks like there's really nobody interested in it. You've got the French league, Italian league, German league. Yeah. The only league where there's any bit of interest is the English league at the moment. So the only way that's going, and that's why everyone's fucking swimming around the place, is the English league, and that's where the money's going to go. That's the worldwide league at the moment, the English league. It's not the league, it's not anything else, and obviously then a little bit around the Champions League. But it is the English league. The English league is the league at the moment that everybody is interested in. That's where the money's going. So I'd say they floated something out, and if somebody had come back with a ridiculous amount of money, then maybe they would have done something. But it doesn't look like they're doing it now. To get back to your point, if somebody wants to fluff in a load of money into the Glazers have not the Glazers have been spending money. They have been spending money. They've been
their
taking
ground and their training ground needs
spending
big money, though. You know
They're
that?
not have been spending a huge amount of money. They're second behind City in terms of their spend. You know, it's not as if they haven't been spending money, but they've been fucking going nowhere. So you can spend all the money you want, but it doesn't guarantee success, and it doesn't get you that formula to go and win leagues, go and win Champions Leagues. We have a formula to go and win leagues and Champions Leagues, you know, and a lot of that revolves around Klopp. But the problem we have is that the difference between like splashing money left, right, and centre is that we don't fucking spend any. You know, our net spend, we're not even the top 10 in the European leagues for net spend over the last 10 years. We're not in it. And look at how successful we've been. So I think they have to spend the summer, by the way. I think they will spend in the summer. I think they realise that unless we're going to start depreciating the value, and they'll probably throw a load of money at it. But they're not going to consistently do it. We might get 150, 180 million in the summer spent on us. We might have that to spend, and we might reinforce in certain areas.
Depends who leaves as well, doesn't it?
No, I don't think there's that much to sell, to be honest with you. I don't think we've got any.
Because I mean, Naby and Oxford on free. He's not going to get fuck off now anyway.
No, and I don't think there's going to be a significant interest in Salah now anymore either. To that regard, right? So I don't think we've got any crown jewels to spend, you know, or to sell at the moment. So I think they're just going to have to put their hands in their pockets, and I think they will put their hands in their pockets. But you know, we have missed opportunity. There's no two ways about that. But get back to your point. If the Qataris come in, absolutely, they're going to have lots more money. They spend money, but like you've got to bite the right players. You've got to get the right system going up. You're up against us. You're up against City. You know, Chelsea are coming again. Chelsea will probably get in the right manager next year to get that model right with the players that they have. No guarantee of success. No guarantee of success.
No.
But and I think it's very difficult to generate, you know, a consistent amount of success and a dynasty of success without having history within your club. You know, so I can still see us getting to Champions League finals over the next 3 to 4 years. I can still see us being.
Do you not think it's harder though? I mean, even Spurs spend fucking money. Chelsea, look what Chelsea have done, and it hasn't really worked out, has it? Look at Chelsea.
No, not yet, but I do think they will get it right, to be honest with you. They will get it right. But the thing about Chelsea is Chelsea will fuck a load of money, and they'll get right. And for one season, or for a season and a half, they'll be right on it, and they'll be up there for the league, and they might get, you know, business end of a Champions League, and then they'll drop off again.
Yeah.
You know, because the succession planning is not there. I think as soon as Guardiola goes, whoever they bring in, he's not going to have the same impact. You know, there's going to be a time to there. So a lot of it, like if we can keep Klopp at our club, there was Champions Leagues and there was leagues there still for us. If we can keep him there for the next 4 to 5 years, and we invest and we give him what he needs and we put the right players in there, there's another league at least and there's another Champions League there for us.
I'd give him what he needs. You'd give him what he fucking needs. The question is, will FSG give him what he needs?
I'd give him everything he needs. And then some.
I know you would, I would, fans would. The question is, would the fucking board or the FSG boys? I know there's going to be, look, Bellingham and Mount, talking about Mount, maybe even the two of them, and probably a defender or something like that. I suppose when all the boys come back from the forward line, we'll have fucking 5 forwards if they're all fit. But it's going to be an interesting summer. It's going to be huge. But to get to the summer in some sort of place, we got to win tomorrow. Yeah. We got to be beating fucking Newcastle tomorrow. 3 points in the bag, and I will be happy, man.
A lot of people are kind of point towards what happened at Dortmund with Klopp and in his 7th season or whatever else it is. You know, like he'd stayed loyal to a huge amount of players, and he didn't really do the rebuild, right? And I don't think he was allowed to do the rebuild. He was kind of let go. So he wasn't there to do the rebuild. His rhetoric over the last couple of weeks is that he's there and he's ready and he understands what he needs to do for the rebuild. Now, he's not going to hang around if the board aren't supporting him for the rebuild. Like, I honestly think if he'd been fucking kicking and screaming to the board saying, I need this, he'd have got it. He'd have absolutely got it, to be honest with you. Or he'd have gone halfway towards getting what he wants. I think he's made some mistakes himself personally in terms of not bringing it through. He's realised that, okay, we need more players in certain areas. And I think he's committed towards doing that. I think the board are going to support him towards doing that. I'm happy enough if we get to the summer, qualify for the Champions League next year, and we bring in the right players. I think we will rebuild again. And when you look at what's happening elsewhere, I think City are going to have to there's something going to happen to them. What's going to take their eye off the ball for a couple of seasons? I think it's really.
I don't want United filling in that void. I can fucking tell
or
you
or Chelsea. Listen, if something happens to City whereby they get a serious point deduction, relegated, or whatever else it is, the two teams that are best placed at this particular point in time to benefit from that are United and Chelsea, right? Yeah. Chelsea have to get their shit together, and United because they're going in the right direction.
So we've got to have a good window to get on their fucking coattails.
Yeah, we need a good window. We need a good window.
We need a fucking window. 3-4 player window
next season. Yeah.
It's not just Bellingham. Like, if people keep keeping he's the Messiah, I mean, you could throw Bellingham into that midfield. Would he make it better? Absolutely. Would he make the team better? Absolutely. But would he make them into a Champions League finalist or a fucking winning the league? I don't know. I don't think so. I think we need at least one more midfield, possibly a defender. You never know. Maybe a centre half, maybe a fullback. Cover Calvin Ramsey's out for the bleeding season. Poor lad never got a bleeding chance. We need something on Trent's side, really, don't we? To give something up as ours, similar to what Tsimikas has done for Robertson. We need something on that side. I know Calvin Ramsey was meant to be the answer, but doesn't seem to have worked out that way. He's been unlucky with bleeding injuries. But
listen, if you just look at the summer, if we can keep, we probably still have 4 decent centre halves. We need cover at right full, absolutely. Unless we need cover at right full. We need 2 central midfield players. We need 2 world-class central midfielders.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100% right. Like Bellingham didn't do a huge amount the other night for Dortmund against Chelsea. He's not going to step up every match. He's not like a fucking Gerrard. He's going to step up at this stage. He's only.
Do you like your man Mason Mount?
No, I don't, and I don't race him at all. To be honest with you.
Who would you go for there? Madison, someone like that. Casado, someone like that.
I would.
I like Casado. I like him.
Yeah, listen. I think Bellingham is more. I think if you allow Bellingham the license to just do what he needs to do to get on the ball, box to box,
he'll need cover, won't he? He'll need cover.
Yeah, listen. Bajic, I think, can absolutely step into that breach next season, and then you need one more, and then I think we need cover. Right, we need cover, world class cover, because Naby's gone, Ox is gone. There's not much left in Henderson. Fabinho is fucking finished. I don't know.
Fabinho's moonwalking, baby. He's moonwalking.
His fucking hips. Somebody welded his fucking hips together over the summer, and he just moves his 2 hips.
The pace has just fucking, hasn't it? I know we never had pace, but even to get up to a running pace, he was okay against Everton, and he was putting his foot in that he used to fucking do. I mean, that's the standard for a midfielder. Is a CDM like him at his level, Brazilian, should be fucking doing. But the actual pace, when somebody gets past him, he's not catching them.
Ergo,
he's never going to catch them.
Ergo, he's picking up at the back post. He doesn't get off the ground. He doesn't. He just stands there, and Tchaikovsky gets up and heads the ball. He doesn't. It's actually, he does nothing. He does fucking nothing. He doesn't even move. He doesn't jump or attempt. He's just like, okay, your man's already back here. Yeah, it is what it is. He heads the ball off the post, out it comes, and we score. But he doesn't have the same. He doesn't look like, and maybe he's still carrying. Maybe he always needs to play himself in. He always needs, 3 or 4 games when he came back from injury to get himself back up to it. He doesn't even look like he has that, or the ability, or the interest even to be able to do that. And maybe his legs are just gone because you've ran the bollocks out of him. Maybe that's what it is. But he gives us nothing. He's giving us nothing at the moment. So we need world class either. I'd be more than happy if it was Bajic and one other either side of Bellingham. Doesn't give us an awful lot of cover there, by the way. You're then looking at Milner and Henderson, from a cover perspective. Not only do we need starting world class, we need cover to be able to step in. And you don't want to be relying on Curtis Jones to come in and do a job for you in that particular position, right? We need to get back to combative carriers, in the middle of the park, and allowing our front three to go win matches, and allowing our fullbacks to push on, and our 2 centre halves. If we can get back to that model, I don't care what anyone says. Okay, we figured out how Liverpool play. It doesn't matter if you figured out how we play. If we've got the right players in the right positions, it's an extremely hard system to play against and to defend against. But it's getting the right personnel into the right positions. There's nothing wrong with Klopp's football. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not broken. It's just, it's making sure you've got the right personnel in to be able to execute on whatever thing you
And that's where we're hoping this fucking window where you invest to protect, invest money to protect your fucking asset, which FSG, if they've any hopes of selling the club maybe next year or 2 years, we want to be in and around top four or fucking fighting for leagues and Champions Leagues in the next 2-3 years. Klopp has 3 years left, 2026. I want at least a few more trophies before he goes, Keith.
I think he's going to stay on. To be honest with you, I think there's another dynasty.
I think he might go 2028. You know that?
Yeah, I think this one was going to be the start of his new dynasty, and you have to think maybe 2-year dynasty and 3 years. I think there's 5 or 6 years left with us.
That's what I'm saying. 2028, 5 years.
I don't see where he thinks he can go after this. After this, if he wants something, it's maybe the German national job. I don't think.
I don't think he'd be a football team. I can't see it. I can't see it being a normal day-to-day job, be consultant or something like that, or the international job. He'd probably take a year off anyway. He'd probably do his famous year sabbatical. Yeah. That type of thing.
And he wouldn't
but listen, whatever happened to Jurgen Klopp, I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure to have him. I'm hoping we just have more years of him and lifting fucking trophies and whatever he does.
And that's it. If we are going to go again, what you need to do is he needs another league. He needs another.
Or a Champions League, or both.
He needs one of both. He needs one of each, to be honest with you. He really does.
Yeah.
He needs one of each.
Yeah. But we go back to tomorrow, Keith. So, look, we got to play tomorrow. It's going to be a tough game. You got to start well. No more silliness, giving away fucking goals, giving chances away. We've just got to go there tomorrow, be confident, pick the right fucking team. It's a 5:30 kickoff, under the lights. The crowd is going to be crazy, as it always is at that ground. If we can come away with 3 points tomorrow after 7:30 or whenever it's over, I think it's it'd be a big plus. It'd be a big bonus for the rest of the season. Huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Reds. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Reds. Darwin Núñez get a goal. And Mohamed, the king of Egypt, to show up tomorrow as well.
What score are you
going? Huh?
What score are you going?
2-1 Reds.
2-1 Reds. Okay.
What are you going? You sitting on the fence?
No, I'm not. I'm not, to be honest with you. I think I'm hoping for a clean sheet tomorrow. I think it might be a
1-0 or something like that.
No, I think it could be 2-0, a late second is what I'm thinking. I'm taking a late second.
Look, as I said, I taking OG in the last fucking minute. Another Fabio Carvalho, fucking 93rd minute winner. It's just I don't even think it's about the performance. It's about the fucking results at this stage. 17 league games to go.
100%. It's all about the results. Listen, I think we just need to kind of get ourselves into this kind of, we need to get ourselves into that mentality now, whereby every game is a fucking cup final, and that's what we need to do. We need to, we need to just do that now for the next. I think we can build up a head of steam over it. Like, we've got United on the horizon. We've got a lot of big games coming up.
Big games.
But listen, we've got United at home. We've got Arsenal at home. I know we have to go to City, all right, but we've got a few at Anfield of those teams in and around us. So, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get off the fucking fence and go 2-0. 2-0.
I'll take it. I'm sure I'll be in touch with you on WhatsApp for the big one tomorrow, guys. We're gonna leave it there. Hopefully, the Reds can come away with 3 points and really enjoy our weekend. We do need it, and there's a big one next week, guys. Real Madrid, a copy of the Champions League final back in June. Let's hope we can get past them. I know it's different. We're worrying about the league and getting back into the top fucking 4. But number 7 would be nice, Keith, wouldn't it? That'd be a little bonus. Number 7 in the back bar. And you'd be in the Champions League next year anyway. So you wouldn't have to fucking worry about it. But enjoy your weekend. Let's go, Reds. Hit the like, hit the share. That was Dave's LFC Chats with Keith at Ethan Ryan on Twitter. Talk soon. Stay safe. Cheers, guys. Reds to beat Newcastle.